Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's video. This is our live session talking about jobs in marketing and learning about how to start in marketing, what specific jobs you can go for to get your start. So I'm Kristen Alexander. I've been in marketing for many years. I'm a chief marketing officer right now, and I've had many different types of marketing jobs. All the way from being a marketing analyst and working a lot with data, putting together databases that we were using to segment our customers, to actually putting together advertising for brand marketing, to using social media now for social media marketing, to writing and planning events. All different types of roles I've had or I've managed. And so I wanted to kind of break down each of those jobs to understand what goes into each of them, and also, how you can get started, which I think is the most important part. So quickly, I wanted to go through a description of marketing. This description largely comes from this book, which is This is Marketing by Seth Godin. It's a wonderful book just about marketing, very simple, and it explains marketing very well. And marketing is just essentially getting someone to believe in buying your products or services. So if you think about it, we are actually all already marketers. So, anytime you're convincing somebody to do something for you, or you're suggesting to somebody, you should wear this outfit instead of wearing that outfit, or you should really go about this in this way, or you should use this product or service, you're actually a marketer. So we're all marketing on some level, and marketing is essentially then companies putting out stories to convince people that they should use their product or service. And the types of one of the most wonderful things about marketing is that all different types of companies, in fact, every company on the planet requires marketing. It doesn't matter if you're a small business or a large business. It doesn't matter if you are a consumer company or you're a enterprise company. One of the most important roles at any type of company is that you are in marketing. So that's one of the best things. Any type of company, you can start as an entry-level marketer. So what are some of the skills that all marketers use? And then we'll get into the specific jobs. So some of the skills that all marketers use are communication. Communication is a really important skill, and that is verbal communication, it's written communication, it's presenting like this, being on a video. Being able to tell a story essentially is at the heart of marketing. So that's really an important skill in marketing. Other marketing skills are design, for example. So now marketers have purview over all of the design that goes into advertising, all of the design that goes into telling stories internally. So internal communications, if you're going to pitch a product, for example, that's something that's used. Other skills in marketing involve organization. So whether or not you're executing a campaign, which means like, say you're going to send an email to your customers or your prospects, that requires great organization of all the steps to sell that email campaign. That requires organization. It requires organizing people. And another skill that cuts across all marketing jobs is working well with people. And that's a soft skill that cuts across many jobs. And so it's an important one to know. How do you coordinate well? How do you complement each other? How do you get people to do things you need to make your campaign successful? So if I'm a marketer and I'm going to send out an email campaign, I might have to work with the IT team or technology person, if I'm at a small business, for example, to make sure that I'm doing that right and the technology is working with all of the other technology pieces that we use. So working with people is a very important marketing skill as well. So there's many different types of, there's many skills we're going to talk about in the specific jobs, but those are a few of the skills that cut across every type of job. in marketing. So I thought maybe we would talk through now the very specific jobs that you could start with in terms of your marketing career. And going back to my point about everybody really is a marketer, since everybody is a marketer, it's likely that no matter what job you have or what you're doing in your personal life, you can build upon some of the skills you already have to make those applicable to marketing. For example, if you work in retail or you work in hospitality, just the fact that you are greeting guests, for example, and working with customers, those skills apply to marketing because you have to have to be a great marketer, you have to know what your consumer wants. And so you have to be willing to listen to them, to be able to gather insights from them, to work well with your customers. And that's needed in marketing. In your personal life, if you manage social media for yourself, so if you're on Instagram, Facebook, and you post pictures and you post updates and stickers and all of those fun things, then you're kind of marketing yourself and your presence. And so those skills can be built on in marketing jobs. So we all have some skills that we use in our personal life and most likely in our work life that we can use to advance our career in marketing. So one of the jobs that I wanted to talk about in marketing is kind of the entry-level marketing coordinator job. So a marketing coordinator is kind of like a catch-all job where all of the tasks that maybe aren't being done by more specific marketers are being done by the marketing coordinator. And so this might involve things like if you're planning events, finding locations, and if you're working with people within a company, even if it's maybe I'll give an example of a small business and then a larger company. So in a larger company, for example, if you are working with other people in the company, you might send out emails as a marketing coordinator on behalf of the marketing team. That's a very common task. You might handle some things that are like admin level or office manager level, coordination, scheduling, setting up meetings with people, and those types of things as a marketing coordinator. You might manage some of the social media accounts and post pictures or company updates. That could fall under marketing coordinator. So a marketing coordinator is an entry-level marketing job that picks up some of the tasks that the rest of the marketing team might not be able to handle from a bandwidth perspective, or don't have enough time to get to, or they're training the marketing coordinator to move into a different role. In a small business, a marketing coordinator role might be the only role that exists in marketing. So maybe you work at a coffee shop, for example, and you are at a coffee shop, maybe there's 2 or 3 locations and you're executing email campaigns for those different locations. Marketing coordinator might do the emails for all of those. A marketing coordinator might be the one that puts together promotions on the social media pages, for example. Marketing coordinator might be the person who decides what is going to be an upcoming product promotion. So let's just say, for example, you work for a small business that's a clothing shop, and the clothing shop is going to have a promotion for a holiday for 20% off through the weekend. It might be the marketing coordinator that suggests what that promotion is, as well as promotes that then through digital channels. So it's kind of a really good role to look for as entry level, and it can mean many different things, but it's kind of catching all the marketing tasks that a very specific marketer might not catch. Okay, the next job we're going to talk through is event planning and field marketing, which are kind of shades of the same thing. But I'm going to talk about event planning because it's the most applicable to all types of people and all types of businesses. So if you are an event, if you are a company on the planet, similar to everybody is a marketer, if you are a company on the planet, the chance that you execute an event at some point in your business life is 100%. So every single company on the planet is doing some event of some type, and they require people to help pull those events off. So if you're a large company, for example, let's just say you're Disney, you're throwing huge events all around the world, essentially. If you are a small business, you might be hosting an in-store event, for example, where, for a holiday weekend or a special time that's meaningful for your business, you're going to have like an open house and have people come in, and you're going to have a promotion. You might be hosting an event in a different location, like a party, for example, for your business. It could be an internal event for your employees. And that requires a lot of coordination. So there is a role that falls typically on the marketing team, which is event planning. And if you work for a small business and you plan events for a small business, for example, you can take those skills and that experience and transfer it to a larger company later on in your job path if you choose to do that. So event planning is all the tasks around making sure an event goes off without a hitch. So it can be things like putting together an audience list. So the list of people you're going to invite to your event. It could be all the marketing leading up to an event. So that might be email marketing and social media marketing. It can be all the selections of what the event experience is going to look like. So those could be things like ordering food, for example, ordering vendors who might have tents if you're having an event outside. If you're having an event that requires a DJ, you would be actually like picking out the DJ or picking out the band. It's very similar to how you would plan a birthday party or a wedding in your personal life. It's just that whole set of tasks that you execute in the business environment. So selecting photographers, for example, selecting the equipment, deciding what the agenda will be for the entire event. So say you're hosting a happy hour and you're going to showcase your products from the hours of 4 to 7. As an event planner, you would decide exactly what's happening from 4 to 7. So from 4 to 5, people are mingling. From 5 to 7, you have some kind of music, and maybe people are there are special promotions during that time. Maybe there's a raffle. Those types of things are all things that the event planner would decide. When you think about all the different types of companies, there's so many different types of companies, and you could do event planning for all those types of companies. You could also do event planning at an entry level for an agency that just helps execute and plan and execute events. And there are many agencies like that in cities across the US, in all sorts of, in smaller towns as well, that might be helping with wedding planning, or might be helping with personal events like birthday parties, or they might be helping with company events. And then there is event planning at larger enterprises or bigger companies, maybe medium size. So these would be companies that have over 100 employees, for example, all the way up to thousands of employees. And typically there are, in these larger companies, you might find the title event planning, but you might also find the title field marketing. Field marketing is an interesting role because it's kind of sits between the marketing team and the sales team. And what field marketers do is they plan events, but they do them for essentially the sales team. So that if I am selling a product, let's just say I'm selling John Deere tractors in the greater Chicago area. So I'm outside of Chicago, but let's just call it the greater Chicago area, and that's my territory, for example. Or maybe it's the state. Then a field marketer for that state would make sure that the agents who are selling, essentially, if they need an event to pull customers together and pull prospects together and create a promotion, they would help with that. If it's very specific territories, like a part of a city, then a field marketer would help plan events for sales teams there. And this also is true for technology companies and all types of companies that have kind of a field sales setup where there are territories. Then field marketers will be assigned to those territories to help execute events as a way to engage with customers and as a way to pull new prospects into their funnel. So event planning is actually one of the most accessible ways to get into marketing. It is a hard job because it requires detail, have a high degree of attention to detail, and it also requires that you have all these moving pieces and you're pulling them together. It operates at a fast pace, and you have to kind of enjoy that. But you can, any company literally has this need, and you can get started pretty easily. And there's a long and prosperous job path in event planning. So that's a great place to start. The next job that I wanted to cover is social media marketing. So social media marketing is essentially being able to market your company through the social platforms that we all use for our personal life. So these would be things like Facebook, which I talked about before, Instagram, Twitter. You might, there are more specific social media platforms, but those are the ones that everybody, knows and is comfortable with. For example, if you're a technology company, you might be blogging on Medium, and in which case, there might be some work there. But generally, let's talk about Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The wonderful thing about starting marketing as a social media coordinator is that you already have that experience. So you already have a Facebook page, you already have an Instagram page, and you're posting pictures about your life. And that is essentially marketing. You're marketing yourself to your friends and your family. You're showing off the things that matter to you, whether that's hanging out with friends or, whether that's if you're interested in something, like you're interested in sports, for example, and you're showing off sports or music or any of the things that you're doing, you're marketing. So you can take that exact skill set and use it for working with a company. So one thing that I would suggest you do is think about your personal social media marketing as part of building your portfolio. So if you wanted to start a job as a social media coordinator, for example, at a company, one of the first things you can do is showcase how you've grown your audience for yourself or interesting things you've done on social media. So let's just say you run a plan where for 3 months, you're going to cook a recipe every day from a cookbook, and you're going to talk about it on social media. So you're going to maybe post the recipe, you're going to post stories that show you actually, video stories that show you actually cooking the recipes, etc. Through the process of doing that, you're actually creating a brand for yourself, and you're building a social media marketing presence that you can show off to a company to say, I know what it's like to manage a social media page for you because I do this for myself. And you can showcase your stories, and you can showcase your posts, and you can showcase your writing. And that's pretty impressive, because when you're hiring somebody as a hiring manager in marketing, which I've been, you really want to know more than anything that the person you're hiring has the skills to be able to execute that job and a little bit of experience. And it doesn't have to be exhaustive experience, but it just has to show a little bit that you're interested in the area and it's something you enjoy doing and you have fun doing and you can pull that off. So social media marketing is great from that perspective, and that you can do that in your personal life. You can take that a step further as well. So let's say you are working in a restaurant. You could ask, for example, to manage their social media pages. And if you start managing their social media pages, all of a sudden you have a brand management experience and experience that you could translate to a larger company working as a social media coordinator. So there's lots of potential there for you to take that experience. The other thing that's really nice about being a social media coordinator is that it is a job that is well respected within lots of companies and is a stepping stone to other types of marketing jobs. So let's just say you wanted to get into content marketing, and I think we're going to talk about that a little bit later. You could take your experience as a social media coordinator and easily translate it into content marketing. So it's a very good starting step within marketing to take it down many other types of paths. The next job that I wanted to talk with you about is digital marketing, which is a huge category, so it's hard to talk about it as just one job, but I'm going to cover some of the skills that go into digital marketing to give you a sense, and then you can apply for digital marketing jobs or jobs that are more specific within digital marketing, and we're going to talk about what those are. So digital marketing is just essentially any advertising that is in a digital channel. So it's not physical advertising. And physical advertising is things like, would be ads in print magazines, for example, anything you see outside, they call outdoor advertising. So on billboards or wrappers on planes or things you see at the bus stop or the train station, all of that is outdoor advertising and physical advertising. Events would be for a type of physical advertising. Digital advertising is in a digital channel. So think, or digital marketing overall. Think email marketing, think everything you see through social media that is an ad, not a post. not a company posting something, but an actual advertisement that is served up to you, as well as any other digital channel that would reach you. So there's a lot of particular areas that are areas of expertise within digital marketing. I'm going to give an example. There is something called search engine optimization. So that is where you use keywords to actually get your content to rank high in Google and other search engines. That generally falls within digital marketing, and it's a different kind of advertising because it's not necessarily as visual, but a lot of the pieces that go into advertising go through SEO. Another one is just advertising overall that's digital. Sometimes they call this search engine marketing. So what you're using in Google AdWords, for example, all of the advertisements that you place around the internet. So it can be the advertisements that show up in Google, but it can also be advertisements that show up in places where you might have a very targeted audience. So if I consistently read articles, for example, on usatoday.com, and they know the profile of me, then these ads, based on all of the history that I've left on the internet about myself, will follow me around to the different types of places that I've been. And then there might even be these pieces of advertising that are very targeted on very specific sites that offer an experience to pull you in. So all of that falls within digital marketing. Another really big area is email marketing, which for consumer companies and enterprise companies still continues to be one of the best channels to use from a marketing perspective, because people do read and respond to their emails, and you'll see conversion from that. And so what goes into email marketing is being able to write and being able to put together promotions and understand. It's kind of being able to write in a language that gets people to convert, that gets them excited. It can also be for like retail companies. Email marketing is a lot about merchandising. So similar to how you would merchandise in a store, how do you put together the right images in an email that get me to take action? And you might be testing 2 or 3 different types of emails at the same time. So that goes into digital marketing. Another area that goes into digital marketing is just your overall web presence, which is like the front door of your, physical store, just online. So everything about your company, your mission, your vision, your products, your current campaigns, all of that is represented on your website, as well as pricing for your products, as well as could be your product vision that's showcased on your website, and all of your content, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So all of that, the website itself, and maintaining the website, writing the content, making sure you have the right pictures, all of that, pricing, it can get very complicated if you're an e-commerce company. There are whole teams that manage inventory online. That can fall into digital marketing, so that's a good area as well. So you want to look for some of the keywords that I mentioned to find digital marketing job descriptions, and decide which of those are areas that you would want to pursue. So it could be at a smaller company that you're going for like a digital marketing associate job or a digital marketing coordinator. And in that case, maybe you're touching a little bit on all of the things I mentioned. As you get into larger companies, though, within digital marketing, since it's such a large area of marketing, there are going to be more specific roles. For example, you might be a search engine optimization associate at a large company, which means you're just focused on SEO. You could be an email marketing assistant manager, for example, which means you're just focused on email marketing. So in your job search, you're going to want to look for those keywords if there's a particular area that I covered that you're interested in. And if you're looking, especially at the larger companies, if you're looking at a smaller company than just digital marketing on its own, you should be able to find some jobs that are relevant there. One of the next jobs that I wanted to talk about is content marketing. So a lot of people have a passion for writing coming out of school. we've all been writing our entire lives, and people have different preferences for writing, writing stories, writing poems, writing songs, for example, all different ways to express yourself through writing. And the wonderful thing is that if you like to write, you enjoy writing, there are so many opportunities for writing in marketing. All of the jobs that I've talked about already, all of them can involve writing to the extent that you want it to. Content marketing is specifically about writing. So putting together blog posts, for example, on a specific topic. And the purpose of those blog posts is not only to share more about your products or your vision or where you see trends moving, for example, but it's also to include those keywords in SEO that will help you rank for those terms, so that when somebody's trying to find, for example, This Is Marketing book that I did before by Seth, This Is Marketing is a term that is in a lot of his blogs and helps him rank for that. So writing blog posts is part of content marketing. Putting together content pieces, they might be white papers or case studies or video testimonials now are really popular. Those are the types of things that you could touch in a content marketing role. Also with content marketing, you could be working with your customers and getting them to tell their stories and sharing those via writing, whether it's on your website or it's featured in other digital channels. Content marketing can involve putting together the content for emails that your email marketing marketers are helping to execute. And when I say execute, I mean literally there's a lot of work from an operations perspective that goes into putting the email format together and making sure it's sent to the right people. So that's a part of email marketing, but then writing is another part of email marketing, and sometimes content marketers do that as well. So it's really an emerging area. In technology companies, content marketing is very popular. In any company that has a lot of products to offer, you'll find content marketing roles because all of those products have to be written about. So that's a really hot area in marketing, and it's a great one for the long term because you can take that whole portfolio of writing and use it to transfer it to many different other types of jobs within marketing. And then the next thing that I wanted to talk about is how do you go about finding these jobs? So I talked a little bit about the different types of jobs and keywords you could use for the jobs themselves, but say you're going to start in marketing and you want to look for digital marketing. Other than digital marketing, what are the keywords that you use for that level? So oftentimes these entry-level jobs have these types of keywords. They are like associate. So that is just the level. So instead of looking for email marketing manager, you'd look for email marketing associate or email marketing assistant, or junior email marketer is another one. Coordinator is a popular one, and specialist is another one. So you want to take any of the keywords that you're looking for in these marketing jobs and combine them with that level to start to find the entry-level jobs that are in your area that can give you a start. Okay, and then from a question perspective, if you have any questions on how to get started in an entry-level marketing job, you can write them right here in the live session, or you can reach out to us online and we'll answer those questions. So one of the things, I just wanted to talk for a little bit about what we're trying to do with Ox. So one of the things that we're trying to do is really help people along their job path. And one of the best job paths to get into is marketing. So we wanted to cover a couple of the entry-level marketing jobs that you can start in. There are others that we'll cover in other future videos, but we just wanted to start with a few. And the idea is that if you can take the skills and experience that you have today from whatever job you're working in today and build up a few of these core marketing skills, you can position those to get into an entry-level marketing job pretty easily. And also we're available to help you along that path. So some of the resources that are available to you, first of all, our Instagram, you can go on and we're sharing job tips with you. The other thing is you can go to our homepage, ox.work, and there's a little chat icon that's in the lower right-hand corner of the website. And if you go to that area, then you can actually just send in a message and start a chat, and we can help you match you with a guide who can help you on your path in marketing. And so we have guides with marketing experience who can understand a little bit about what you like to do, understand a little bit about your skills, and suggest which of these jobs might be a good job for you to start in, and then help you go step by step from that job to another, to get into that kind of job, and also lay out what are the other types of jobs that would come after that would be interesting to you. So we do have a question I wanted to answer it, which is, do I need to have a degree to get started in marketing? And the simple answer is no. The more complicated answer is some companies will definitely say on their job description that you need to have a college degree to apply to this job. My advice always is to not let that hamper you at all, that if there's something that you want to go for, you should go for it. And increasingly, companies are dropping their college degree requirements. In fact, major companies, Google, Apple, all are dropping their degree requirements in favor of people being able to demonstrate that they have the skills to do the job that's required. So if you can demonstrate that you have marketing skills, that's not going to hold you back. There are some companies that do, the largest companies may have stricter requirements around having a degree. Definitely in smaller businesses, medium-sized companies, and more progressive companies, that's not going to hold you back. The thing to focus on is to focus on developing your skills. So if you are going into a content marketing job, for example, you're going to be writing all the time. Before you meet with somebody about that job that they're going to ask you for a writing portfolio. So if you know that today you want to go into content marketing, you should immediately stop whatever you're doing and go write. Right now, start writing every day in some format, blog post about yourself, find a topic that you love, write about that topic and publish that so that you have the work that they're looking for to demonstrate that you have those skills. Another question that we have is, what is the range of pay that entry-level marketers can expect, and do they get benefits? So I would say this really depends on the company. I'll talk about ranges of companies. So at a small business, for example, if you're going to start in a marketing job, whether or not your pay is probably going to be entry-level pay, which could be anywhere, depending on where you are around the country. It could be anywhere between $30,000 and $50,000 as a rough range. In terms of benefits, that would depend on if that small business is paying for benefits for their employee base or not. That's definitely a question you should ask. And that will depend, company to company. In some of the larger, I would say medium-sized and larger-sized companies, entry-level marketers, like very entry-level, could be making, in that same range. I would say maybe from $40,000 to $60,000 a year. And most medium and larger-sized companies will offer benefits of some sort. You should absolutely evaluate the benefits packages of different types of companies. That is important, and the salary range. What is important to know is from an entry-level marketing salary, say you start at $50,000 a year, which is a great salary, you can move that salary consistently up over time. And marketers at the top of their game are making a lot of money. So it's a very lucrative career to be in with consistent career progression. You can expect that, if you work hard, you're pushing for, increasing responsibility and promotions every, year to two at the very beginning part of your career. And then last question is, are there remote marketing positions? And remote positions just mean, would you be able to work from home? And one of the best things about marketing is, yes, there are a ton of those, and they are consistently growing all the time. So one of the biggest trends right now is companies are going 100% remote. A good example of that is Envision, which is a company that puts together software to help you share prototypes and design different user experiences. And their company, all of their jobs are 100% remote, including their marketing jobs. Marketing is a great job to do working from home because really all you need is a computer, and you can access all the people that you need to work with I have people who work remote on my team. It's fantastic. Everything you're doing essentially is being shared digitally. So email and putting together visual designs and presentations and all of, all blog posts and all of those things are done digitally anyway. So it's a really great job for people who want to work remote. So I think that's a really good overview today of the different types of, a couple of the different types of jobs that you can pursue to get started in marketing. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us to help. So I wanted to just cover one more time the ways in which you can get in touch with us. So we are on Instagram at ox.work, and you can follow us there. You can DM us any direct questions. We are on Facebook also as ox.work. Our website is ox.work, and if you click the chat button, which is in the lower right-hand corner, which a lot of websites have a chat button there now, you can chat with us directly, ask us your job-related questions, and we'll get back to you right away with answers to those, and also being able to connect you to a guide who can help you on your job path. So it's been a pleasure to talk about marketing today. I could talk about marketing all day. I hope you come back to some of our other sessions, which will be on this YouTube channel. Our next one is next Wednesday, which is at 4:30.